Hey, how you doing, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of God Concept. I'm your host, Mr. Pagan. Good morning. Um, you know, I want to start off by saying that I want to thank the Creator. You know, the one above all the BS that we deal with on a daily basis. The one above the world that we live in today in this society or dichotomy, however you view it. There is a higher power up there, and that higher power doesn't have a name. It doesn't. We give that higher creator, that higher power, a billion names. Not literally, but we do give the creator a lot of names. But none of the names that we give the creator is in fact the creator's name. This episode is about governing over dominion. And in turn, it's God, if you abbreviate it or break it down. Governing over dominion. G-O-D. You have government that plays God in your life, and I'm going to break that down to you. How the government plays God in your life. The government acts as God. It's a very deep concept. If you really never heard of it or thought about it, you probably won't get it. Some people get it easily. Some people understand right away exactly what I'm talking about, because you see in everyday society how the government plays God. And don't mind the crackling of my voice and everything. I just woke up. I got a cup of tea, some water right here. I'm about to partake in. Not literally. Just woke up. Actually walked the kids to school. They got there a little bit late because they wake up a little bit, groggy on the wrong side of the bed sometimes. So, you got to deal with that in the morning. See that they get dressed and all of that stuff. See that they have something to eat, which their mother cooked for them and everything. And that was great. In a way, just like we govern over our children. You know what I mean? We govern over our children is the exact way the government govern over us. Even as an adult, you have someone governing over you. You have a local government or system or law enforcement agency, municipality, whoever it is in your city, in your state where you're from. But this local government, right, the government of your city or state, ultimately takes, take directive from a bigger version of government, and all of it is in accordance with how they want things ran in their city. And it even trickles down to you. It trickles down to, them putting a monopoly. They monopolize property, people, places, things, resources, facilities, pay, how you get paid, all your union jobs out there and everything. All of these are governed by your local government, by your mayor, by your city council, by, people in office. All of these things are governed on. They have a coin, right? It's a Masonic coin. And on both sides, it has a G right in the middle. I believe that both sides of this coin called God, right, or this coin endowed with you know they make this coin, and it represents, that's what I'm trying to say, I apologize, it represents how God and the government are one in today's society. It's like, okay, yeah, we believe in a higher power, a higher creator, but which higher power and creator do you serve? They even got something in the Bible, because any words written in any books was written by a man. So in the Bible, they tell you, they have a passage in the Bible where it says, obey, where God tells people, to obey the law of the land. They tell you to obey the government put in place, because the government is set forth to, they tell you to obey that in the Bible. But those words, I guarantee you, weren't written and read. Those words that another man wrote in a book aren't the words of God. Yeah, you don't want to get out here and, they put all this government in place because, they want to, not the government, but law enforcement in place, because they don't want people out here doing heinous acts, committing crimes, and just, opposing their will on other people. But when it comes to the Elohim, the powers to be, because Elohim, all that mean is a group of people, of power, of influence. They let them control the masses, and they control them in a very demonic and very organized way. It's like, I like to refer to it as legal organized crime. You know what I mean? But I talked about that before. That's for a later subject. But the thing is, we can make all the right choices in life. You could do everything accordingly, and they still know exactly how to manipulate you. They still know who you are emotionally, so they know what calls to make in your life. Like, you ever been called by a bill collector, or by a debt collector, or by a tax person, or this person or that person, and it just throws off your whole mood for the day? You ever dealt with a system who's trying to get something out of you, and they're trying to make you do what they want you to do, but they never help you out, i.e. control? You know what I mean? It's your local government, or your God, you're governing over dominion, because this is what they do. If you look up the term governing over dominion, it'll clearly state exactly what I'm saying. They control your unions, how much you get paid. They control the supermarkets, what goes into the supermarkets. Even if you're making healthy choices and eating, things could be in your food and everything, in your processed food, that's very unhealthy for you. When you look all over the world with, who's been around, because other places been around longer than America is the youngest country that we have, as far as in existence, as far as a democracy. You have other places like Australia. You have other places like Asia, China, Africa, other continents, where it's like they run off of every place runs differently. It's like some are dictatorships, some are I can't get the words right, but you know what I mean. The whole thing is we're not a dictatorship. We're not totalitarians. It's not supposed to be anyway. There's supposed to be a government, a democracy, right? Our government is supposed to be a democracy. But in many ways, it proves that it's a false democracy. It's a false democracy. It's dictatorship under the veil of democracy. It's our government playing God in a lot of ways. And they don't want you to see that. They don't want you to know that. They never want you to come to the realization that they're playing God in your life. With the food that's in your supermarkets, with the curriculum that they're teaching your children at school. Half the kids don't even learn nothing from the curriculum that they're taught in school. At times you could be a brainiac at the curriculum, but that don't mean that the curriculum is right just because you passing tests or you getting good grades. A lot of our curriculum is wrong. A lot of our curriculum is geared to make your children slaves, especially when they go into public school and things like that. They control the wages that you get as far as when you work. If you have a 9-to-5 job, they control the wages. They control everything down to the bills that come to your house. You know what I mean? If they decide to, they can spike the bills at your house and make the bills go out of control to the point where you can't survive on your income and a spouse's income together. It goes all the way down to I remember one time, we had a house at 73rd and Buies. And, I was the only one working in the household at the time. And we fell behind on one of the Pico bills, right? Which is weird because that's another way to control you with the bills, like I was saying. But we fell behind on our Pico bill a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. And we needed to enter in a program called LIHEAP. You know what I mean? Or what is that? It's a program where they help you with and they said that we made too much money as a family of 4, 2 kids, a wife and a dad, stay-at-home mom. They said that we made too much money to enter into a program to help us with our bills. Them not helping us made us fall even deeper in debt with the bill. And my thing is, they control the bill. They try to make it act like it's your energy consumption, or you used a lot of water, or damn, you using a lot of gas this month. No, it's not that. They control and govern that. Even when you're on welfare or you have a stipend or something like that, they control what you get on your welfare and on your stipend. They control whether you're going to get a lot of food stamps, and they control whether you get none at all. It's that simple. Your medicine, when you go to the hospital, you know what I mean? It's a natural thing that you could drink, eat, smoke, do to improve your health in many ways. But they put the commercials on the TV and on the radio and everything around it, and they pay people to promote certain drugs to you and everything. That's bad for your body. It'll cure one thing, but the side effects will be a fucking a paragraph long. The fast food. We overfed. I admit it. I'm an obese class. I'm a healthy obese person, but it's like America wants you to be obese. America don't really want you healthy like that, or else they wouldn't feed people like this. They wouldn't give you meat from, processed materials. They even have meat that they're printing now on 3D printers. That was fucking wild. I watched a report on it. You should do the same. Check out that report. But man, everything around you is governed. Your gas, if you got a car out here, they take the gas prices up and down and up and down and up. It's all monopolized. The people, places, and things that we live around, that we encounter on a daily basis, the emotions that we got to go through and everything, all of it is monopolized. It's becoming more and more evident to me, and I just want to present my truth, these facts to you all, because it seems like in today's society, we all been brainwashed. We all been dumbed down to the point where we don't understand that our life is being controlled. I mean, and don't get me wrong. It's so deep, it don't matter if you got money or not. It really doesn't matter if you got money or not. Kanye West said it. Kanye West said that once you get into a certain tax bracket, once you start making so much money, you got certain schools that your kids have to go to and have to attend. Even at those schools, I'm sure that they teach your children something that you might not agree with. I think the attacks it's easy to deal with when you got money. But nevertheless, it's still someone governing over your dominion. Point blank, period. Someone's always governing over your dominion. Anything that you deem to be, you have the right, the inherent right, the God-given right to control. Someone's always controlling that. Your cell phones, these things are governed. Any messages that you want to send or get out there or anything, a phone call could be intercepted. Your information, your photos, everything that you do is governed. And to me, the system, the government in place, the one playing God with everybody and everything that it has under its umbrella, it makes it more and more evident year to year, month to month, week to week, day to day, that they're in control of everything. I've been going through a lot of situations, and I posted something on our mayor's Instagram page because, she was making accomplishments, cleaning up the city, this and that. She's cleaning up Kensington. She's making employees of the city start having to go in the office and work regular 9-to-5 jobs and stuff like that. She's changing a lot. But what I said on her page, where I made a comment, she's doing all this, and she's doing a great job. Kudos to her. But at the same time, she got to make changes for the bosses. She got to make changes for the people above her as well. Don't just pick on the people below you, because she's putting stop and frisk laws in place. Now you can't be a street mechanic no more. You can't work on your own car. They want to find you for that. You can't wear a ski mask. I mean, it is what it is. I understand it's a bad thing to have people ski masked up and all that stuff, but, it's all a totalitarian thing. Our government is changing every day. And with our government changing and trying to bring more laws, regulations, and legislature and all of this stuff to merely lock you down, to merely just cause horrible things in you. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you got money, you miss this. If you got money and you got wealth and you're doing something affluential, or you're doing something that's getting you, ahead in life, you're blind to this type of stuff a lot of times. Or sometimes you don't care that it's happening because it's not affecting you, because you got enough money to just go somewhere else. You got enough money that when these problems arise that everyday people have on a daily basis, you could just buy your way out of that problem or that situation. Or you have a friend behind the scenes who could take care of that problem or situation for you. But people that's working their way up, that's just working a 9-to-5 job, that's not famous, who don't have a huge bank account, that's just trying to make a way for them and their family. We're the people that this type of thing affects. The governing over dominion thing affects. The government playing God thing affects. It affects us. There's some people out there, they don't care. Like, okay, I'll give you a prime example. I posted on this podcast everything that I've been going through in my personal life, right? with people, with places, with different offices, municipalities of the city, right? I'm filing federal tort claims papers, all of this stuff. I'm going to tell you right now, I have got no help from anybody in the city, friend, family, or otherwise, right? I've got no help from any office or governing office in this city, period. No law enforcement has tried to help me with my situation, period. Nobody in Philadelphia is like, I'm non-existent, or it's like, it's not even happening. And I put in paperwork and everything about these things. I'm sending paperwork to the CIA. I'm making calls to the FBI. I'm sitting up here poking at people on social media and everything to get attention, to gain the eyes and the ears of people in office, in these Masonic orders, in these different, backdoor channels. And it's like, nobody still won't help me. Why is that? Family turn their back and everything. Why is that? It's because it's all a game. It's all a Ponzi scheme. And once you, as an individual, can prove everything that you're saying and you are 100% right and true, they'll try to make you look out to be, they'll set out to make you look like you're crazy, or that you're off base, or that you're a criminal in some way. This is what they've been doing to me. They'll falsely arrest you. They'll ignore your claims. They'll make you look like you're wrong in the situation. Everything. And they'll use your family, your friends, co-workers. They'll use the legal system, the law, the court system. They'll use anybody in the whole atmosphere will fall on you. Period. This is what they do to people. This is... They say, how you know you being cheated, right? How does anybody know you being cheated? It's because it feels like it. When you feel like you're in a fucking twilight zone, more than likely that's because you are. A lot of ways, this is a twilight zone that we're in. It's like dealing with the Wizard of Oz whole situation. You know what I mean? How in the Wizard of Oz, Dorothy, the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, and the Scarecrow, they was on this path to go to see the Wizard of Oz. And on that path to go to see the Wizard of Oz, they encountered so many hardships and trials and they triumphed. You know what I mean? They had to deal with flying monkeys and Wicked Witch of the East and this person and this thing happened and all of this stuff happened while they was on their way to see the Wizard of Oz. And when they got there, it was this mystical person in this room. You see the big head and everything. I am the almighty and powerful Oz. And then come from behind this big red curtain is this little teeny short pipsqueak of a guy. That's what it is. It's the illusion. It's the illusion that they build up. But the whole thing is they put you through this, and it's just like your life. They can put people, situations, they could cause drama through people and situations in your life. They could cause drama through bills. They could cause you drama through the legal system. They could cause drama for you through your kid's school. They could cause drama for you because you have a habit and they know about it. So now the cigarettes that you're smoking might get you some type of problem health-wise. They control all of that. Somebody called, threw my whole thing out of whack. But they control the medicine that you take, the prescription you get, and everything. They have a foothold on your life. They always have a foothold on. You're born into the system. When you come in, you have a docking number, right? That social security number is basically your bill of lading. You never get the original. The original is traded all over the world. Your original birth certificate is traded all over the world. Most of us never get to see that thing. And it has stamps from all different continents and all different people who held that birth certificate as collateral. You're merely money to them. You know, you're merely money. You know, some of us, most of us, I don't know. I can't account for everybody. But my situation, there are handlers in our lives, people to handle you. You know, it goes so deep to the point where they don't even got to contact these people. They just know automatically, innately, what to do in your life. It's like programming. You can realize the programming of certain people. You can realize that the programming is there for them to be a hindrance. You know, to be whatever type of way they are in your life. Whatever, like the things that you don't need in your life is the very things that they present into your life at times. Or in many cases, this is what they do. It's just, it's a sickening thing. It's a sickening thing. And for somebody in my situation who's going through so much, for my local, for my people, forget about the government, forget about the law enforcement and stuff, because they're part of the problem for me. You know what I mean? For me, they haven't helped me, period. But for me, it's the people. Like, if I have people out there, or you know, I show people love in my life or throughout my life, why can't I get reciprocity for that? You know what I mean? Going through so much, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be completely honest and transparent, right? That's when I'm ultimately being transparent. I got to get used to this podcast talking shit. I should be by now. About more like 111 episodes. But to be totally transparent, you know, I haven't been able to make a steady income for a while now, right? And it's because I see that they just want to lock me into doing whatever my 9 to 5 was before I started doing podcasts, writing books, and making music. To the point where I can't even buy new clothes. I can't get my children new clothes, but I'm still persevering because I believe that this is the gauntlet I have to walk in order to make a change in my life, a big change in my life. I believe that if I go back to doing what I did before this, it would just make me complacent and have me stagnant and have me sitting in a situation where I might be able to work for somebody for the rest of my life. Or if they choose to, I might lose that fucking job and still not be able to work for somebody for the rest of my life. And why would I want to work for somebody for the rest of my life? I mean, think about that. You really just want to do what's natural to you. You want to do in your life what comes natural to you, what you're good at, without having to punch a clock, without having to ask a person whether it's okay or not, without having to, wonder, if today would be the day that somebody fire you because of a mistake you made. And it's like the people, when you look at society and you look at anybody who's successful in life or have anything, amassed anything of value or wealth, do they work for anybody or punch a clock? I mean, they may work with people, they may have agreements and deals and stuff like this, but no, they don't. You're not going to get ahead staying in your comfort zone. It never works that way. In fact, your comfort zone, whatever you feel as if your comfort zone, if you're a working class person, whatever you feel as if your comfort zone is with your job, I guarantee you is not really a comfort zone. It's a false sense of security. Because if you live in paycheck to paycheck, if you're living with bills that weighs out more than what you make, right? If at any time you could get sick and fall behind and lose everything that you have, really, what is the purpose? You know what I mean? Really, what is the purpose? What are we working for? Are we working towards a goal? You know what I mean? And sometimes, you work till you're 65 and you get retirement and things like this. But now, when you look in the news, you look on social media and everything, people been complaining for years now. People been complaining about pensions. 401ks getting stolen. People been complaining about this. So how sure are you that the company or job that you're working for is really going to honor that you've been working for them for all these years, that you gave them 40, 50 years of blood, sweat, and tears? That you work there, no matter what your family's been going through, no matter your own situation, you still come to work and show up so you could get a paycheck. So ultimately you could get a pension or retire and get that 401k. Just for the job or people to tell you that they not doing pensions no more. Or to tell you that your 401k isn't as big as you thought. Or now, like, come on. I mean, really. And then after you retire, I knew a guy that worked at SEPTA with me, man, named Mr. Don, right? He's a tutor now. He tutor math and all of that stuff. He out King of Pressure, I believe, right? I love Mr. Don. Shout out Mr. Don, right? But he worked for SEPTA for all these years. Hell of a bus driver. He did the L, go all the way out to the malls and all of that stuff and bring you back to Alany. And it's like, when he retired, he still had to work. He still, but it's something that he wanted to do after this. It's like, it's something that he chose to do this. He chose to be a tutor after, to help people get their GEDs or further their education in many ways. But it's like, that was his passion in the first place. Maybe that was a bad example, but I'm still glad I went there because I got to shout out Mr. Don, It's like a lot of us, man, we get caught up in these jobs and these situations and circumstances, and it's all by design. It led you there. You know what I mean? If they want to keep you on as an employee, listen, I give you another example. There was people at SEPTA who did everything wrong, right? And got to keep their job. And there was people who did one thing wrong and they was made to lose their job. Kick them straight out the door. I seen people get write-up at the write-up, at the write-up, at the write-up, at the write-up. And they would keep their job. And I'm wondering, like, how the hell do they get to keep their job? And they doing all this fucked up shit. And then I see a person who just came in, something like that. They make one or two mistakes, this and that, and they fired. You be like, what the hell? That goes to tell you that the system is skewed in a way where they want to keep certain people in it. My example, I'm going to give you my prime example. I sent my union, Local 234. I called them up and I requested my pension papers. Because what I ultimately want to do is move the fuck out of Philadelphia. Because Philadelphia isn't helping my situation at all. In fact, Philadelphia is a slavery farm to me. You know what I mean? They try to monopolize your children against you. They try to monopolize your job against you and what you do for a living. But I digress right now. The thing is, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, I filed to get my pension because I'm trying to get out of Philadelphia, right? I don't want to be in Philadelphia. I don't want to work for Philadelphia. they still had me on the books like I work for SEPTA. I haven't been at SEPTA working in 2 years. I haven't been there working for 2 years. I've been going through so much in my life. SEPTA not one time reached out to me and asked me, "Are you okay, operator?" Because I'm a bus operator. SEPTA not one time reached out to me to see if I'm okay in my situation. And all that I've dealt with in these 2 years I've been away from SEPTA, right? In all that I've dealt with, not one time did the company that employed me reached out to ask me or see was I okay. In fact, they sent me vacation checks as if this is just a prolonged vacation. They're a part of the system. One of the people who's involved with me being in this situation that I'm in today, currently, told me to go get my job back as if she knew that I was going to be able to go back and get my job. As if she knew that if I got my job back, I wouldn't have took this path of exposing people, places, and things for what they really are. As if she knew that if I went and got their job back, possibly they would fire me anyway. For whatever reason they concoct or whatever happened or whatever situation comes about. To be honest, I was scared for my life at that job. You know what I mean? Not like in a sense where I'm in threat all times. I mean, right now I'm in threat at all times. But the whole thing is, when I worked there, it's like I had guns pulled on me. I had to carry a gun just to go to work, just to feel safe when I'm coming home, because I don't live in a atmosphere where I get to just be hunky-dory about everything. No. That's not my problem. That's y'all's problem. That's y'all's problem that y'all put on people. And then they give you guns and then they pass laws and legislation to take those very things you have away from you. So that way you can't defend yourself or your family against bad people that have guns. Because guns are guns. Weapons are weapons, right? The stark difference in between my weapon and a bad person's weapon is they're going to do bad shit with their weapon. They're going to get out here and rob people, kill people, extort people, all types of shit with their weapon. You know, me with mine, I'm trying to protect my life and my family's life so I can make it from point A to point B safely. Instead, they'll sit up there and entrap and collude and conspire against a person like me to meet their agenda or Joe Biden's agenda for wanting guns out of America. They basically wanted to be like Australia, where you don't have the legal right to carry. You don't have the right to bear arms because the government deems it bad. Because really, our Second Amendment right is about us raising up against a totalitarian government, against a government that's tyrannical. And in today's society is very much prevalent. It's very much evident that we're living under a tyrannical government. Everything that I've been going through, everything that a lot of you been going through, but probably didn't put it together or piece it together, we are living under a tyrannical government already. What they're trying to stop is a civil war, basically. Or what they're trying to start as a civil war. See, the thing about it, a lot of people not going to turn a blind eye to the government fucking with their lives. I'm one of those people. I'm like a dog with a bone. You know, I'm on my Scruff McGruff Detective Pikachu mode. You know what I mean? Mr. Bo, because I got a grandfather named Mr. Bo when he was a detective. Once I learn something or go down a rabbit hole about something, I have to get all the information about it. It's a must. If I don't have the information about whatever I'm going through, about whatever situation, I got to inquire about it. I have to figure it out. Because then I don't want to miss a piece of the puzzle. I don't want to be one of them people standing close to the picture, standing too close to the picture that you can't see the bigger picture, the broader point of view, right? I love to see the big picture. I love to get a magnifying glass and see the intricate details of this picture and this tapestry that we're living in, that we're looking at. And it's like, once you see it, you can't. Once you know something, you can't unknow it. And if you know it, they'll just continue to make you, do this. Basically, it's like Groundhog's Day. It's like living in Twilight Zone, because you know exactly what's going on, but you're powerless to do anything about it. I'm just a person that's tired of feeling powerless. I'd rather put my voice out there and put my podcast out there and put songs out there and write books about the things that I know to be true and evident in my life and what I'm going through. They put me in situations, in legal situations, purposely trumped up charges. They try to make the charges align with each other, to make sure they could set you up and paint you out a pit. They could paint you to be a picture of something that you're not. Make everybody look like you're a person that you're not, basically. And it's like, I got cases against me right now, right? While I'm fighting the city is putting cases on me to make sure that they paint me out to be the bad guy. But they won't honor the federal tort papers that I put in, the federal tort claim papers I put in. They won't honor the fact that I've been calling FBI about these people who had a part in ruining not just my life, but my family's life, right? For generations, right? They won't give me any type of justice or relief for situations that I've been placed in. But yet and still, you want me to come to your court systems and comply with the laws that you're trying to put on me as an individual. You're not giving me justice. You're not giving me justice. So why the fuck should I be just to an unjust system? Why should I try to play the game with the system, play this game where I know it's just a losing game? You put $100,000 on me for an incident happened at school, right? Say I simply assaulted somebody and all types of stuff, and I never did that after I went there for an assembly. Then you send cops here to pick me up. You pick me up under false pretenses. You lied. You said this was about one situation. Then I get down there and it's about something else. You said you was going to come and do an interview and things like that. You never came to do interviews. From the Philadelphia Eastern District detectives lied to me. They took me under duress. That's another thing they do to you, because they want you to fight back. If you fight these cops back, they got a reason to shoot you or hurt you or tase you in a lot of ways. And that's what they want to do. I'm getting in the car on my own. Nobody got to push me or shove me. I'm getting in the car because I'm not no bad person. I'm not trying to, buck the system or whatever until the system try to fucking buck me. I'm trying to get in the car. They tackle you while you're trying to get in the car on your own. Why? To make me fall, to embarrass me, to hurt me? You already got me in handcuffs. Why? Then they put these fucking heavy metal handcuffs on you, causing nerve damage. That's right. When I work out, sometimes my limbs get numb. My arm, I could feel nerve damage done. Because they chose to put me in a holding cell with handcuffs on for hours. I had to scream obscenities I had to scream curse words or something like that just to get them to come and uncuff me. I'm already in a holding cell. Why do you guys still have handcuffs on me? Why do I gotta sleep on this little ass bench, laying my head on grilled cheese sandwiches that you gave me? You know what I mean? Like, why do I have to have handcuffs on while I'm in this situation? Why do y'all do this to people? Enough people don't ask the question why. They don't even see the question why because they too content with their everyday life. But you gotta understand, if they could do this to me, they could do it to you and yours too. And when you wake up to the fact of what's going on, it's already too late. When you already start blowing the whistle and trying to, get justice for your situation in your life that your city or municipality or government put you in, it's already too late. You notice what it is. It's a dichotomy. It's not really even a society. It's a dichotomy that we're living in. It's a farce. Everything is a lie. Everything around you is built up as a lie. It's a moving prison. It's a moving prison system. If you're not outside, if you're not in tune with nature, if you're not in tune with your environment, if you're not one with yourself, if you're not aligned with your goals, your dreams, your moral compass, and doing the things that's natural to you, you're in prison. Without even being in prison, you're in prison. And we help them imprison us every day. We help them imprison us every day. We do the same things. We do the same mundane things. We go to these jobs just to pay a bill and this and that. And don't get me wrong, we got things that we feel like we need. But the only things that you really need in this life are the things that you come in this world with. They trump the dollar up. They try to make the dollar seem like that's all you need. And they do it through all these things, the paywalls, the bills, the car, the house, the things you want, the things you get addicted to, like the cigarettes or vape or the cell phone. You're not born into this world with a bag of fucking money. If the creator intended you to need money here on this earth, you would have came into this world with a backpack full of money. It would have been flowing through the umbilical cord. Dollars, ones, tens, 20s, 50s, and hundreds. But you don't. That's because it's really not required. It's a necessity because they made a necessity, because everybody makes it their currency. What happened to the barter system? What happened to each one teach one? What happened to I'll do for you if you do for me? What happened to, if you tailor the suits for my daughter's wedding, I'll sing at your daughter's wedding? What happened to if you sing at my daughter's wedding, I'll build you a house? What happened to, if you're helping me out in my endeavors in life, then I'll help you out in your endeavors in life. We became more selfish. We became way more selfish. And we put blinders on to everybody else's problems. A lot of people out there don't give a fuck about your problems. And it's because they either have their own problems or they're a part of your problem. Or they're enjoying the fact that you have a problem in your life. They like the fact that you have hardships and shit in your life. Sometimes it's that way. Sometimes it's just that way. And it's sad to say it, but those people who like that you're going through that shit, who like to see you going down, most of the times they're your friends, they're your family, and they're fake. People out there in the world who see you going through shit, who can easily do something about it, who can easily make a call, get in contact with you in one way or another to just change your whole life or your whole situation. Why they don't do it? Because they told not to, or they not even thinking about you. They don't got to be told not to. They know not to help you. They know not to fuck with you. to improve your situation, because your situation is where the governing class wants you to be. They want you to be in that fucked up situation. Otherwise, this person will reach out to you. These people will reach out to you and say, damn, let me help this boy out because he got something going. He got something going on, or she got something going on. They don't deserve to be going through this shit. That's my people. Let me help them out. Why they don't do it? Because if they did it, they know that they would have something coming down the line, probably on them. Or probably won't. That's the even fucked up part. Because a person with money, power, with the ability to help people out, they still won't help people. And it won't even be any repercussions. Like, if they know there won't be repercussions, but good reaping rewards and reaping blessings from God for helping somebody out, why you still choose not to help somebody? You know, it's sad. It's a sad situation that this is what it is. This is what I see. It's a sad situation where people just allow the government to fuck over their own people. And they know exactly what's going on. They see exactly what's going on. They know what you're going on, but they entertained by the bullshit. They don't give a fuck, man. A lot of people just don't give a fuck. You know? And it's up to you to either create something or go along with what they're trying to put down on you. You know what I mean? Whether that's, you know, if I'm being done wrong, I can't go along with the scheme. I'm sorry. That's just me. If you're going to fuck me over, you're not going to dick me down and sit up there and just place me in the corner and just sit me, like, watch me sit there and just squirm or some shit. Like, that's corny. Like, no. That's bitch shit. If I'm getting fucked over by any type of system or any type of person, I'm going to call them out. You got to call them out. You know, and it's sad because if you go to call out somebody in public or in their face or something like that, they can either call the cops, have them come arrest you, put all types of charges on you, even if you've done nothing wrong. Like, all you could be doing is discovering the truth about something. They still gonna put you through a lot of shit, like you hurt people or like you a menace to society and all this other type of shit, but you not. And they know you not. But it's just something that they got to do. Otherwise, a hardship is going to come their way. Like, I don't get how it works because I'm not on the other side of this thing. I hold my position in life, you know what I mean, where I'm at right now. I never seen the other side, what goes down, you know, behind government walls, behind, you know, in closed door meetings with people and things like that. I'm not behind that door having those meetings with people. But from where I sit, it's a bunch of bullshit. You know what I mean? Period, point blank, it's a bunch of bullshit. And they lead your life in many ways. And they'll continue to do so. You know, this system, it didn't start with me. You know, and it's not going to stop with me. You know, my voice is just one of many voices that need to be heard so everybody could be rectified and made right and made whole for the atrocities that America has put on people. You know, the mindset, the illnesses that America has given people in a lot of ways. You know, I just find it appalling that, you know, that a whole city could hear you cry out, not to just help yourself, but to help them too. And they still not help you. You look on my Instagram, social media, for years now, I've been screaming and hollering and blowing the whistle, not crying wolf. All the shit that I'm saying is factual, actual. I got real information built up and real things that I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And it affects everybody, because just like they came for me, they going to come for your ass too. Whether you comfortable right now, whether you've been through it or not, anytime they could come for your ass. And it's like, at that point, you got to look at it like, damn, you still can't get help from that. It's like, it's sad. Because you people out there are like, most, not all people, but a lot of people are just really sheep. They follow the crowd. They follow the social media trends. They follow this. They follow that. You know, if a person laugh at your situation and they got more money than this person, or you leeching off them, then you going to laugh at the situation too, and you know it's not right. A lot of people know this shit not right. But yet and still here I am. And my parents-in-law and my parents-in-law's home doing podcasts with no money, with kids that got to go to a public school system who don't really give a fuck about them, who's actually trying to probably paint the picture out for us to be some type of bad parents and all this type of stuff. When I'm merely trying to make it out for their sake, when I'm merely whistleblowing this whole city, this whole government for their sake, so they don't have to go through this dichotomy that I'm going through. Yeah, they're going through it now, but they should be able to live and do what was natural to them. They shouldn't have emotional distress, physical distress. They shouldn't have problems and things like that at 11 and 12 years old. But you introduce that into our life, my own family, my own community, the people I lived around and grew up with, and people, and a lot of people that I didn't grow up around or know about, put us in this situation. You know, the government, you know, who knows and sees all, who plays God in our today's society, who knows everything about you, the little intricate details that you don't even think they know about you, about your character and your personality. They put you through this. They put your kids through this. And they work on you through people, places, and things. And it's so sad because, you know, it's sad to me anyway, because I'm not going to lie. I like laws and legislation and things like that, but only when it does you right. Only when it's justice for everybody. When it's justice for all, that's when it's all right. You don't get to be just to just the people who's holding your office and stuff like that. You know, one thing about it, if I was to conspire on somebody and come up and hash up this whole plan to steal houses, to steal property, to fuck up a person's life, I would go to jail. I would go to jail big time for the rest of my life. If I was to ever conspire or hash out plans to do anything to somebody, they would send me to jail for the rest of my fucking life. But since you have the people hiding behind offices, right? You have the government, you have the feds, you have the CIA, you have these cops, the local police. All of these people is under these umbrella and they take these oaths. So when one of them conspire or do something wrong to somebody, all they got to do is build up evidence, right? False evidence to make it look like their claims are substantial, to give their claims validity. And you're done. They won't even have a shadow of a doubt. It's automatically, they have this position, so they're right and you're wrong. And that's not cool. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. Y'all shouldn't have agents out here running around doing whatever they want to do. Calling themselves whatever they want to call themselves. You know what I mean? They call themselves artists. They like to call themselves gang members or mafia, or they like to act like they're part of some organization or group. They like to even, play a role. Some of them might be a bus driver. Some of them might be city workers. Some of them might be whatever. Whatever. The whole thing is, it shit is sad.
it's sad to see going on. You know what I mean? This shit is sad. This shit is sad. And it's becoming more and more evident, to me anyway. You know what I mean? I had to go through all of this just to have my eyes open to something. And now that my eyes is open to it and I don't agree with it, it's like I just want rectification. I need justice. Fulfill the tort claim papers that I put in, you know, fulfill those. Because what they'll sit up here and do is they'll sit up here and not fuck with me, not imprison me, because then they have to appoint me a lawyer. They won't imprison me and none of that type of stuff, right? What they'll do is they'll try to wait for those tort papers to run out of gas because they say that they only have a certain time limit they have to honor federal tort claim papers against your local government or municipality or whatever. So what they'll do is they'll sit up there and hold me up until those papers run out of gas or until that those emails and everything disappear so then they can fuck with me. Or they'll just leave you somewhere where you could just decide, you know what, let me get the fuck out of here, screw it, and I'll just go live up on the bridge or something. To be honest, this is how they do your life. I don't know whether it's a movie or a game to these people to play with a person's life, to play with a family's life. Like, to be honest, you know what I mean? It's sad. It's a sad situation. It's a sad day we living in. You know, anytime that they know you have children and they still don't help you. They know you have hardships that you've been through in your life, all your life, and they still don't help you. They know that you're right. They know that you're right about all of this shit, and they still don't help you. I don't get it. I mean, even if the government's not going to help you, even if your local law enforcement, the feds, the CIA, somebody at a government organization don't help you, shouldn't the people help you? Shouldn't your peers or your people help you out there? Especially when you just trying to help everybody. Especially when you putting this information out there because you know it's going to benefit somebody sooner or later down the line who needs it. Somebody out there in America is going through the same shit that you're going through. And they need to know that there's other people out there that dealt with this type of thing. And they need to know the steps that they took while they was dealing with it to better their own situation, to let them know there is some type of moves that they can make to help their life out, to help their family's life out. This is why you see all the Civil War movies. I keep touching this. Now it's like I'm going on in this circle and I'm going around and around with my information. My bottom line is just, you know, my bottom line is the government plays God in your life, you know, basically. And it's evident. It became more and more evident to me the more and more research that I do, the more and more I look up different organizations and things like that. If you go into church, if you're a religious person, all of that is through the government. All you know what I mean? They get the tax breaks from the government. You know, if you believe in God, you believe in the government. If you want to abide by the laws of the lands and do what's right for your fellow man. I mean, listen, it's always good to do right towards your fellow man because there's a bit of God in all of us. But at the same time, when you abide by the laws of the land, when you go along with the government schemes, you sold your soul to the devil. Selling your soul to the devil isn't a thing where you got to go and sacrifice a chicken or something like that. No. Selling your soul to the government is merely turning a blind eye to what other people in your society is going through. That's what selling your soul is. Selling your soul to the devil is turning a blind eye to your fellow man's hurting and pain and what they're going through. That's selling your soul, because you reap some type of reward, or you get to talk shit about this person. You know what I mean? That's when you adhere and abide and let somebody be a victim of what the government is putting down on them, what society is putting down on them, what the legal system is putting down on them, especially when you know that person isn't guilty of any of the things that they're accusing them to be. You have sold your soul to the devil, where you go watch a man, not just a man with a family, a man with children, a man with integrity, morals, and values. When you allowed them to be a victim to a system that's clearly railroading him in many, many ways, you have sold your soul to the devil. Whether you like to admit it or not, whether you give a fuck or not, whether you hear this podcast or not, if you allow a person to be persecuted unjustly, you have sold your soul to the devil. Point blank, period. That's my episode of God Concept. This is Mr. Pagan. I got books out there. I got music. I got this podcast that I'm doing. I'm working on a song now for a brother I connected with out in France. Hopefully, I'm going to make this thing a fucking hit for me, for him, for our families, so we could try to, get it going, man. Because that's what it is. I'm trying to make something off of my own energy, off of my own, trying to make progress. I'm trying to connect with people outside of America. You know what I mean? Because to be honest with you, I have gotten no type of resolve from America. I mean, I appreciate the one thing. I'm going to tell you what I appreciate. I appreciate sitting here still being able to do my music and to do my podcast and to continue to do that and to continue to be in my family. I appreciate that. Because to be honest with you, they could have had me locked up behind bars or something like that, never to be heard of, or you know what I mean? It's like, I do appreciate that I got a chance to put books out there, to get my podcast out there, to get music out there. I appreciate that. But it's not like they gave me a fucking gift. You know what I mean? It's not like they gave me a gift at all. Because if I chose to, I could have not did nothing. I could have been nothing. I could have just withered up and died because of all the shit that I've been through. All the shit that I see my family go through, my grandmother go through, my mother go through. All the shit that I see my children go through. I could have just withered up and died. But instead, I'm persevering. I'm still making music in light of my situation. I'm still writing books in light of my situation. I'm still doing this podcast in light of my situation and all that I know, to bring you a little knowledge, whether you know it already or not. It's out there. Because you deserve the truth. I deserve the truth. And I know what Tom Cruise said, you can't handle the truth, but damn it, I can handle the truth. Shoot me straight or don't shoot me at all. That's one of my mottos right there. Give me the truth. If the proof is in the pudding, give me the fucking pudding, because I want the proof. That's all I'm saying, man. So this has been my episode of God Concept. Man, above enjoying this episode, I hope you learned from this episode. Truly. Above enjoying this episode, I hope you learned from this episode. you know. I love y'all. Stay aware. Stay at peace with yourself and your environment, and continue to do what's natural to you.